what happened now was these imperialists who had created this sort of notion of white being better than black because of this biblical context and this black savagery, blah, 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 that I've talked about for the last hour. This wasn't working because now they were becoming educated, and now they were worshiping God, and now they were understanding through the church, which became a place of education and enlightenment, not just of life, but also actual education, that, hey, we're equal. And not only just the God, Jesus said so, it's also in our Constitution by way of the Bill of Rights and also by way of checks and balances, separation of powers, because it said so. And we have followed all the case law since. So I'm like, oh, fuck, imperialists. That's me, imperialist channeling. So what they have to do now, this is coming up to the early 1900s and the end of the 1800s, the Columbian Exposition, the world's Columbian Exposition of 1893 in Chicago happens, which was revolutionary in many ways. But there was the Midway, and then there was the White City. The Midway was the world, and the White City was everything that was imperial. And you see that in the Roman architecture and the opulence of the White City and the speckled shores of Chicago, even to this day. Now, these so they realized this wasn't working. The savagery thing isn't working because, like, now we have to deal with not only, Black people, we have to deal with Asians, and we have to deal with Asians from all different kinds of Asia. So they're all like, oh my goodness, all this happening. And then in the 1900s, it started to become more aggressive, right? Because now it was getting really, because now, oh my goodness, slavery was abolished. So one shackle had been taken out. So the philosophy changed of imperialism in America. It said, no. For us to maintain power, we can't be Victorian. Victorianism has emasculated us, as if their stupidity wasn't good enough for that. Now, so we're going to have to just slowly wean away from that and explore the world of the wild. And so Theodore Roosevelt famously has this portrait in the White House where he's sitting on this horse, and this horse and he's pointing. I mean, the man was little. He wasn't like 6 feet. I think he was like 5 something, if that. And he's just standing on this big horse, and this horse and him are almost the same. And he becomes this wild, and he's done a lot of good, don't mind you, but he was dressed in the imagery of the wildlife person, the gun-toting, the hunting person, the masculinity, because it had to juxtapose against what they called savagery, because Victorianism wasn't working for them.